So what is up, guys? In this video today we are going to discuss how you guys can start countering Eradicators. I see this post go around actually a couple times on people's, I guess say, discourse, and so like, why do people play Eradicators? Yes, they're amazing. Descendant makes it amazing. Gauntlet can make it OTK, but as I said, Gauntlet's just another unit that's like MLB. He's already countered in his own sense. Descendant's a whole nother story. So we're going to teach you how to counter Eradicators nonsense and all that stuff that comes with it. So pretty much with Royals, there's not much to use against Eradicators. The way Eradicators start losing the momentum is when you start playing Jewel Knights and you start going in on your opponent. And the best way to hit Eradicators is by pushing them as fast as you can. You got to be quick. Yes, they heal, but guess what? You push harder. You keep getting more units, you keep getting extra attacks, and you keep going for that. So with clans that have that type of extra attack push can really get you the game. Eradicators still need their own momentum. They still need their boosters, and they still need to draw a Descendant, and you have to be at freaking 3rd damage for them to even work, or hypothetically a 4th damage, because at 3rd damage you have a chance of hitting a trigger, which would possibly protect you, depending if they even have the 3k booster. So in the Royal clan, there is a way around Eradicators, and that is obviously Blaster Blade. Sack and intercept, swing strong at your opponent, just sack him. If he heals, don't worry about it, just keep going, just keep swinging. Don't lose the momentum. The more cards you make them waste in their hand, the better your odds increase. That way you can keep swinging at your opponent and you can still do work. Royal Paladins have pretty much that. They have a Majesty Lord Blaster who can go up to 2200, which is nice when you hit a trigger, but you know that slowly died, but can still be useful against that. So there's still an MLB somewhere in the world that can get around that. But like I said, the more you push, the better results. And with Majesty Lord Blaster fighting the new Eradicators, I think he has better odds due to the fact of the new PG system. So once you smack him the 5, you Blaster Blade their intercept, and then you automatically kill him. That's the trick with Majesty Lord Blaster now. When you're attacking with him, with the new PG system, you push them the 5, then you do freaking Blaster Blade, and you're good to go. So Royals have it. Oracle Think Tank, they already have it themselves. Run a crit, push your opponent to 5 against Eradicators, and then just smack them with Tom. Tom legit gives you the game either way. Once they're at 5th damage, they're legit having one of them odd chances that they're going to heal out of it. The only way you lose with OTT against Eradicators if Tom doesn't get the final hit in. That's about it, but you will possibly get in the final hit in. And if you play restands, you get faster pushing, or you play crits, whatever works. I mean, crits are going to work better against Erads because you're pushing out cards. And then once you get Silent Tom, you're ready to rock and roll. All you need are like 2 PGs when you're at 3rd damage, and you're good to go. So OTT has options. Shadow Paladins have options. They have possibly maybe one of the best options due to Netmain drawing you 2 freaking cards. You are increasing your odds literally to get your PGs. And not only that, they have Phantom Blaster Dragon who crits. Get them the 5, ride PPO, or just stay on PPD. Hit him with another 2 crit, sack an opponent. If you have the cards for it, go for it. Then you win faster. Then they don't worry about a 6 damage heal. Shadows have options against that. They always had. Freaking any unit that had the effect to retire was godly. PPO sacking his own unit just to kill an intercept is godly. Especially for final hits. As long as you push them to 5, they're screwed either way. Decks like this that have the retire obviously are going to be good, so why not use them? You can still use this type of deck. I mean, golds, it's Ezel. I mean, Ezel, even though Ezel's a thing, Ezel now has his own issues with Descendant doing his thing. But Ezel always has his push plays. He has Blaster Blade Spirits. You kill him the intercepts. Ezel has a good potential to freaking push. But unlike Ezel, I like my freaking hybrid build better when you run the Vivians and the S-Crads. Because Vivian and S-Crad are the best rush plays to getting your opponent to 3 when they're on G1. And then when they go to G2, you're going to be pushing them to 5 most likely. If you top deck an S-Crad, if you top deck a different card, or you get a Blaster Blade Liberator, which you will have. You're going to have, you can fetch so many options that counter Eradicators with Gold Paladins. That, including Liberators having that potential, is amazing. Anything with this type of retire effect stops Eradicators. They need the defense to live. They're not as good as they seem. They seem that way because they're riding Descendant, and it's like, oh, I guess he wins. It's like fighting Duke. So you're fighting Duke. Duke wins. Duke only wins if he's playing a crit build. Duke only wins if you're at the last damage. So Golds even has Duke Dragon to do that for you. Even Jailer can push him to 5, and then you wait a turn, then you do the Persona Blast, get your Blaster Spirit, then go for game. Again, so many things. Angel Feathers, I will not lie, struggle. They struggle against Eradicators a little bit the most. Just because the sacking and Gauntlet Buster killing back row units, you lose your Pegasus plays. Angel Feather has struggles. They don't really have much of a push play unless they have Hermes. But thank God for next month when Zachariah comes out, you will have push plays by G3, making this pretty much a 13k B stick for an extra 2 attacks. That's really good. It really is. And your Pegasus will legit be at 12,000 once you call in a unit, so you hit magic numbers either way. So there's that. So believe it or not, Angel Feather doesn't have an option yet, but they will have it next month. Keep that in mind. Genesis has some good options too. Whatever decks have the best rush plays can destroy Erads. All you have to do is survive a turn with Genesis, then you break ride Artemis, or you break ride Yada, or you do this and that, get your crit triggers out, play your Chrome Melas, play your Ravens that come out of the soul. Whatever gives you that extra attack, go for it. The whole point about being Eradicators is rushing them with the cards that you have, but you need to have these specific cards to get the best bang for your buck when it comes to rushing. Kageros have always been Kageros. I mean, first off, you have Draconic Overlord. You legit have a Persona Blast that lets you draw 2 cards. You're legit getting your PGs. I mean, obviously, just like, I don't see Gauntlet. I feel like Kagero still has a good advantage when it comes to that type of match due to they having Dragon, they have Striking for push. And if Striking pushes them to freaking 5, which is like, how you do the break ride turn when you got 2 damage, you push for the 2, then you push another 2. That way your unit hit for 4 damage and they're holding that new PG. Guess what? Now I have a Berserk Dragon for game because he's going to hit me like 3 damage and there's my CB3. Or I can use a Berserk Dragon or use Draconic Overlord for game. It's a final push. Why am I not going to do that? Kageros have always had the option, including Seal Blockade Dragon. Seriously. Erads don't stand a chance. Mostly. Sometimes I get that. Tachikaze, they don't really. The only options they do, sadly, the only option they have is Blastosaurus, but that's about it. If you don't keep boosters, it becomes an issue. But thanks to the superior ride chain, you try to maintain the boosters that you have in your hand versus what they start sacking. But Blastosaurus is like the only type of rush play. It's not the strongest, but it's all they got against Erads. But I did rank up against an Erad player with Tachi, so I was actually in shock. So just saying, with the Blastosaurus plays, when you have those types of plays, you're like set. It's all about the multi-attacking. It's rush, rush, rush. Do not let them breathe either way. If they get a trigger, you make plays that bypass that juice, bypass that power. That's the whole point. You're trying to bypass the defenses with and without a trigger. That's the beauty of freaking playing decks. You got to find it. Obviously, you don't go over Narukami for those options. Nova grapplers have Block Cougar, and obviously he has his ups and downs. Ethic Block is legit the ups and downs of that. They could kill Gauntlet before anything happens when you're at turn 4. If you PG, you're fine. Depends how much you hit your draw triggers with Block. Block can usually win that match a lot if you have your key pieces. And also it depends at where the damage is at. Maybe they're at 3rd damage, but Block can do it with the Yamamoto Drakes and the Anklets. The Anklets and the Yamamoto Drakes getting 1,000 power each, mind you. They each get, one gets 4,000. They each get 4,000, but they'll go up to 13, and Yamamoto goes up to 14 as well. But every time you hit a trigger, you're increasing your odds on those restands that they're going to hit for the final 3 attacks, for those final 3 PGs, or maybe just 2 PGs where your opponent has to live by a heal check. So that's another positive with Nova grapplers. They have rush plays too, referring to the Death Army units. As long as you have a column prepped, you got your second attack in. Especially with Death Army. Dimensional Police, they do have their struggles. They do crit. I mean, you're practically pushing the limit break. They have no retire effects besides Zeal. So I feel like out of all the dimensional, I think Zeal's the only type of unit that could bypass that type of deck due to the sacking. And the superior ride chain kills Amber Dragon. He legit kills the Forerunner before the Forerunner even kills any of your units. So yeah, I mean, Zeal is like the better option. Dayusha could kind of struggle because you still have to maintain units that can attack intercepts, which isn't too hard, but you got to get those crits in. The faster you crit, the better. It's just that when they have that defense, It's a lot harder, but I saw a glimpse at Reverse Daiusha in Japan, how the effect is kind of worded right now. They're definitely going to update it, but so far what I read and what I saw is Reverse Daiusha minuses 10k, and if their power goes down to 0, it's retired. So he's going to get a nice Zeal effect, which could put DP up there now, where like retiring is the best mechanic in 0, and that's what we need to do. So there's that. So Reverse Daiusha would definitely impact the Irad journey soon. Dark Irregulars, they already have like one of the best options. It's a tricky option, but once you pull it off, you can do anything. Reiji's like the best option against break riding in general. When you Reiji, you legit stop everything from their plan. They don't get a break ride ever. They better have their PGs or they better luck sack those heals, because when Reiji hits, it's for game. There is no break ride. If there's a break ride, congratulations. You got a 6 damage luck sack. You should be proud of that, because powering up Reiji to 15 soul chars is easier than you think. Ask Ali. He does it all the time. So Reiji stops everything break ride, and people sleep on Reiji. But that's when people have to start to realize, maybe start playing Reiji more, and you'll start getting those 3 crits, and then you don't have to worry about Descendant. You don't have to worry about anything. There's no Vowing Sword. There's no nothing. All you have to worry about is get your intercepts when you're playing Reiji, and you're good to go. You're going to be sacking most of those units. Obviously, with Amber Brush, they kill a Thunderbolt, but it doesn't matter. You can replace it easy. It's only 1 unit. I have an extra one in my hand. I'm just trying to bait you out for some reason. So there's that. Spike Brothers now have a great unit to sacking, but Spike Brothers has always had rush units when it came to freaking Emperor, and now it comes down to Lucifer. If you're one of those F2P people who haven't played Part 2 or just got into the game, Lucifer has that potential as well to get those extra attacks in. I did make a deck for him. There will be a profile later on this channel. Stay tuned. But Bad End Dragger sets up Dudley Emperor in the strongest of ways, and with Dudley Mason providing that extra attack. With my Dudley Mason. With Dudley Mason providing extra attack support during that turn, it's really good. I have showed people so many times when fighting Erads, once they're at 3rd damage and they have only 1 intercept, Mason starts to become the MVP of that match. Because if they don't hit a trigger, they're going straight to 5, and you're summoning 3 units that are going to hit over 2100. Well, 2 units that are going to hit 20 over 100, besides your Vanguard that's already swinging at 2100. So Spikes have options against Eradicators too. Pale Moon, actually, believe it or not, they do. Dreamy Fortress, in a sense of people that don't run intercept snipers in their Erad builds, Dreamy Fortress could micromanage yourself. You could save yourself with a Dreamy. It's possible because of the intercept snipers. If they waste them because they want to get extra attacks in, that's fine. But that's the thing about Dreamy. Dreamy comes out. Vowing kills Dreamy, but you still have 3 Dreamies left in the soul, plus your other intercepts. So you'll be just fine if they're not running the intercept snipers. And I think I've found a lot of Eradicator players that aren't running those. So maybe it's time to bring back your Dreamy Fortresses, guys, because they're not seeing a lot of Pale Moon on the ladder lately. So there's that. So Dreamy could return due to the fact that most of those Erad players aren't playing intercept snipers, apparently. They're playing the Bird, and they're just playing the 7k beat stick. I just never see the 7k intercept sniper at all, or the 9k sometimes, because maybe they're going full Erads. Granblue doesn't have options yet. Part 3, they'll have a crap ton of options with Reverse Casidius, so you'll be set then. You'll always have units. It doesn't matter if they sack them. You'll always have intercepts, period. And with Reverse Casidius, he powers up Thanatos, and you know what that means? That is extra attack material for final push. Bermuda Triangle. Prisms actually do have a lot of multi-attacking. I think one of the 9k units attacks hits. You CB1, return to your hand, call another unit. So you are giving yourself that satisfaction of actually getting another attack in. So Bermuda Triangle's even going to be able to get some rush-ins on Erads. Whatever deck has a push, there's a push for... I just say it like this. Every deck has a push. You have to just use those units, period. Push units are great. If you don't like them, too bad. Start using them, because those are the units that are going to strive for you to beat your opponent to a pulp very fast and very efficient. And who knows, they might draw their heal check, like me. When I take 4 damage or 5 damage, I draw my heal. That can happen. You don't know. It happens. That's just my luck, though. I mean, I don't know if I can really compare it. Aqua Force has great options against break riding due to Glory. Glory discarding at G3. They don't break ride. They don't Descendant. GG's from there. Sometimes they can hold on to their G3, but keep in mind you are discarding a card. They have to ride a card. They have one card in hand. If your intercept game is strong with Glory, Descendant's going to have a hard time swinging. Glory is a decent unit. That's understandable. Everyone's just scared because of Gauntlet. He kills back row. He kills Diamantes, but you're going to have a full back row of garbage. So you got to just pray the randomizer doesn't hit your Diamantes or anything else. But the whole point is you still have Glory. Glory's your main Vanguard now. You just focus on Glory and go for game. Glory's amazing. He discards a G3 pretty much for a CB2. They're discarding a G3. Imagine when Transcore comes out. Erads have nothing anymore. They're not going to have that. When Transcore's out, they're discarding 3 cards. Descendant's barely going to be able to get a play in unless they're hitting their drop sacks like nothing. So that's the beauty of freaking Glory. So if you have your Glories, good job. You're one step closer to destroying Descendant and everything Eradicator-ish. Keep in mind, everything's a rush play. There's a reason why they bypass intercepts. It's all about the rush with these cards. You're pushing them as fast as you can. Sure, do you lose a basal intercept? That's fine. As long as your PG game's strong, you're good. Why wait? So Aqua Force has options. Mega Colony is very limited to options. They don't really have any like rush units. So Mega Colony is very low fighting Descendant and Erads. You can you paralyze the boosters, but that's not going to be enough sometimes. But yeah, I mean that's the only other issue when it comes to Mega Colony fighting Erads. The situation that presents itself is we can paralyze, which is good. You slow them down from killing you, so you can maintain your intercept game on killing them. So Descendant doesn't get any special effects in, and you make them call cards from their hand to get extra attacks. I mean, Mega Colony could possibly slow down Eradicators due to the fact we're slowing down the boosters. So we're making them play boosters from their hand, which cards they need for Descendant to finish the game. So if your PG game is strong and they can't do that, and you're making them waste cards and your intercept game is on point, Mega Colony could actually strive against Erads. And I'm just going through everything. Great Nature. Good rushing. You're drawing cards. You're getting what you need. All you got to do is pull off your chicken plays, and you're good to go. Polaris with the restand at LB4, which you use a self-damager for. So you can sack your chicken early, get your intercepts in, push them as fast as you can up to 5, use Polaris again. You're sacking them mostly like 2 PGs a game, but as long as you kill a chicken, you're getting your intercepts back anyways. That's what makes them a good offense and defense deck. They could take on Eradicators too. You just have to have the play. It's all about the key pieces. Every deck needs key pieces. So does Eradicators. But if your key pieces come faster and they have nothing, you're going to win that match, period. But Great Nature has options. That restand is what made Great Nature great again. Jokes. All right, Neo Nectar. Hate to say this, Neo Nectar barely has any like multi-attack functions. The most I can see in a multi-attack is Persona. Like, honestly, the most I can see in a multi-attack is possibly Maiden of the Trail Rose. I only say this because stand triggers could slow you down. You possibly won't have boosters, but with Maiden out, you're technically, if you Persona Blast, you're getting an extra attack in, period. You can legit get 2 extra attacks in on the 4th damage, like you're doing a restand Navel Gazer play. Stuff like that. Whatever card can give you that attack advantage, you use it in every freaking deck, period. And that was another thing. Let me go back to Spikes here, because Spikes is like the prime example of there's no such thing as a booster. That's why they made units like freaking where is he at? Where's that boy at? Where is he? Come on, show me. Really? Where is he? Oh, there he is. There's a reason why they made a unit like this. This unit doesn't even need a booster. This unit just has to swing. This is your rush plays. This is all what Spike Brothers, they're rushing and they're coming back later. Rush, come back. Rush, come back. That's what makes this good. This is what made Spike Brothers great, because they are good at rushing the opponent. They don't need boosters. They only need to Soul Blast, and they hit over the number at G2, sometimes at G1 when it came to Juggernaut. But we have to lose Juggernaut due to Jelly Bean, because we have to keep our heals in the deck for us to actually micromanage our field better. So there's that. So went over Neo Nectar and the last Crane Impulse. So pretty much what I could say is there's many ways to counter Erads. There's always a way. You have to really look at your cards and look at your field. Go for what you feel is going to rush them. You go for those top tier plays and you won't lose. You will always win. There's so many things. And when it comes to even Bermuda Triangle, even Reindeer is an option. Reindeer has always been a good Vanguard. Legit rebounds are insane. Like, holy crap, holies. You have no idea. Now imagine that new card in Prisms. What was her name? Beth or something? She attacks, she comes back, you play an 11k, swing at a different rear guard, and you're still hitting for big numbers because you put Beth back in your hand. You can even put Beth back out and swing at all the intercepts with her like you're playing freaking Dragonic Overlord. Like, Bermuda Triangle will have the best option. It's a 9k unit. You can make her 11k if you wanted with the Blazing Isles. And Beth would hit, or whatever that chick name is. So like I said, every deck has an option. You have to go find it yourself and what presents itself on the battlefield. You have to read the situation for yourself. And once you see what the field's like, you'll know how to tackle it with your units. Every deck has a rush. You have to find it and you have to apply it if you get it in your hand. Rush, rush, rush. That's all I can tell you. Thanks for watching. Be good. Stay safe. And until next time, homies, raise it up.